Hi. Today, what a great day. I have been doing a book reviews for over a few months and I've done about 10 reviews. And today I said, okay, let me start a video review for my books. And why not with the very first book that I laid my hands when I was a teenager? I don't remember who gave me this book. I'm not sure if somebody lended me. It was in my house and I started reading it. Amazing book. At that age, it taught me the most important lesson that tough times never last, but tough people do. So that created a foundation for me, which I think is paramount. I mean, I would have not taken it seriously till now when I've crossed years of experience, and I say that this has created a great foundation. Setting my right mindset, just understand it's a problem, it's a situation which would not last forever. It would be for a day, a year, a month. So I've gone through many cycles of up and downs, the dead valleys, the growth in the company and everything. But this one sentence stayed with me. Frankly, I would not remember any part of this book, but what remembered or what stayed with me was this one sentence. And I'm telling you that made a huge difference. Right. So let me do one thing. I'll break this into summarizing this book, a very short summary, quickly, and then I will break the three important quotes or the three favorite quotes I have from this book and connecting that reference to today's world, like how people have solved the problem and how big or small everybody has problems. All right. Yeah. To summarize, so let me try to summarize in less than a minute. All right. The book is divided into three sections. Right. It talks about the crisis, then it talks about strategies, and then finally it breaks down to victory. Right? So crisis is basically all kind of crisis we could have. It could be a financial crisis, a relationship crisis, a challenge at work, a challenge with children, or anything. So there's all different crises that you have. The second part of the book talks about how you strategize. So he's laid out some strategies, which talks about goal setting, developing a mindset, cultivating a strong support group, coping up with stress. So the second part goes into explaining the strategies. And the final part, the victory, is where the author has taken real life examples of people, which is interesting. Where so the various very expansive neurosurgeons, it talks about athletes, it talks about a lot of people, and all these people are real life examples. Tells you how you can win out of all these situations. So that's a quick summary. But it's a book for anybody who really wants or is really going through a tough time and wants some reference points to pick up. That's what it does. All right. Yeah. So I'll break this into my three favorite quotes and then relate back, right? So the first quote that I love out of the book is says, all it takes one idea to solve an impossible problem. Such a powerful sentence. So basically, I'll take two examples. So let's take an example way back to Edison, right? So we all know his famous story of Edison who took 1,000 tries to eventually come to create an electric bulb which we use. Now he could have given up at any given time, right? What emphasis of the story is that he had his creative mind. He wanted to keep willing to take risks, make mistakes, learn from his failure. All right, and eventually we all have Edison today. So fast forward, let's come to today's world. Elon Musk, an example, right? So he entered a space industry with his company called SpaceX. Now SpaceX went to an industry which was not owned privately; it was most government owned and stuff. But he went with an idea of creating a space shuttle which would actually land back and you can relaunch it, reuse it. That one idea was difficult and he executed it. And today SpaceX is one of the most innovative companies. Even NASA gives us $1 billion of orders to SpaceX to move their stuff to space. So basically that's what I'm trying to say. This could be one idea and that's all it takes to solve an impossible problem. And my second quote, problem-free life is an illusion, a mirage in the desert. It is dangerously deceptive perception, which can mislead, blind, and distract. Now, again, let's take two stories from here. So I will take one from Nelson Mandela. He was in prison for 27 years. He had gone through great adversities. He had challenges and struggles in the prison. He still came out of it. He negotiated, have a democratic country there. Even after that, he had health issues, many other issues. But his resilience and everything created what he wanted. So life's not easy, it's going to be tough. And if anybody expects a problem-free life, it's very difficult to understand. Fast forward, again I come back to J.K. Rowling. We all know her from her famous books, Harry Potter. Now if you again know her history about her, she was a single mother, has challenge in paying bills, she was going through depression, nobody wanted to publish a book. She went to so many publishers, and even after she successfully published her very first book, there was criticism, there was challenges. But today, she is one of the most renowned writers. So again, life is not always simple. There are peaks and there are dead valleys, or how we put that into perspective. So this sentence also created a great difference in my life, and as so. And finally, the title of the book is my favorite, Tough Times Never Last but Tough Good. So again, 2 stories, I'll just take it back. Oprah Winfrey, all right? She lived in poverty, sexual abuse, lived in a rural Mississippi, but she was determined to make a change. She had huge challenges in her life. Even after her show was successful, she had legal battles to just own back her show. And she had so many challenges, but again, she's a celebrity today. She's also donating half of her property into philanthropy and all this stuff. But the other example with which I would try to lock this down is Malala, the Pakistani activist, who believed that the girl education is very critical. The Taliban were against her, and even she was shot in the head. She survived that, and she went ahead. So she also found all the adversities in her life, and she went there. And Malala's story is such a powerful example of an idea that tough times never last, as tough people do, and make a difference. Yeah, so to conclude, I would say this book is relevant for anybody who's trying to improve his life in a meaningful way. Now, why do I see meaningful way? It's a very small book. It's not a very big book. It's a very tiny book. You can read it on because it helps you in aligning and letting you know that the others going through the same things. It's not just you alone, right? Maybe you're doing a business, your mother, you're doing to anything, you're a gym person, anyway, you will get challenges. And as long as your mindset is ready that this is not going to last longer, and I as a person will last longer, is the message that the book gives. And this is a message I use it extensively in my professional and real life. And to be very frank, it does makes a difference when the underlying foundation is set right. So I would suggest anybody to read this book, and the very best to all of you. Thank you.